You know what I'm saying? On the land. So we brought Rod on, man. Rod finna get ready to crack heads into its camps. Can you hear me, Rod?
Yeah, I can. You. I
Okay.
gotta go out and come back in. So what you do?
Okay.
Run that video
I
because
got
this is gonna be the foundation for what we're gonna be talking about.
got you. I got you.
Do I sound pretty clear?
Yeah, you clear. You loud and clear.
Okay.
You
So
smart.
it's a couple things that I need you to remember when they
Okay.
talking about the number 13.
Okay.
Right? They talking about the spell put on the Great Mother by the secret societies.
Okay.
When they talk about the 72 star seal in the dome,
Okay.
they talking about the 72 sigils used to seal the Great Mother womb,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
And then they gonna talk about the layout of Washington, D.C. Those are sigils on the ground for conjure spell,
Okay.
right? When they talk about patriots, they talking about patriarchy,
Okay.
right? Okay, so when you listen to it, they gonna give you all of this history, and they gonna tie all the stuff we've been talking about, the usurping of the Great Mother and the restoring the Great Mother back to her throne. They finish show you all of the places they put the spells on her, but he's gonna be telling it as if the number 13 is a cursed number. But the curse was put on the number 13
Go ahead.
by the
Read.
patriarchy to put a circle of blockade around Big Mama's seat, right?
Okay.
He's dealing with DC, District of Columbia. Remember, before it was Washington, DC,
Mm-hmm.
right? It was called Rome,
Yeah. Go ahead.
right? To tie us back to all of the biblical prophecies. Also, pay attention to how they connect George Washington to Zeus. And
Okay.
remember that Zeus is Enlil.
Okay. That's
You
fine.
got that? So I can't hear you that good, so I got to go out and come back in so you can run that video. And by the time it's over with, we be ready to boot up.
I got it.
He's adding value. Peace and love, sis. Thank you for always being there with us. Thank you for adding value. Jasmine is also here. She says, "Universal, I saw that too. I'm on my way home. See y'all when the show starts. Salute to everyone. I hope you made it, sis, and that you are with us." Mike Weston in the house. He said he ready. He was just watching football in the meantime. So let's go, y'all. Hit the like on your way. Please, 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 please hit the like button on your way in. He gives salute to the Taz Show and Yassini and all guests. We have the Empress herself. She was also watching a little football ahead of time. Uh, Nathaniel Bay in the building. He says, "Yo, I'm ready. Let's get this party started." Salute to the chat and panel. He's heard about Wright Hayes. Will be nice to finally see him in the building. I'm glad. At least there is somebody that we get to introduce the brother Hayes because he is very well known out there in the platform. So we got lawful versus legal. He says salute to the family. Clown in the house. He says, "What time is it?" It's at the Taz Show time. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for being here. Brother, you keep showing up, and I haven't got the slightest clue. Please send me an email. How in the world do I pronounce your doggone name? Because I have no idea. I know to one thing to you that's the name of South America or something like that. But Abayana and I'm not even gonna try it, brother. I'm not even gonna try it. But we have the Empress herself, Sharon Moore, in the building. I'm getting, and she says she's ready. Let's get it in. Yasima, Selena, and Taz. We got the doctor in the building, Michael Pazio in the building as well. Peace. We have Jasmine. She says she's here. Hit the like and help out, y'all. Most definitely. We have the Empress herself. Reads Learning Street. Peace, love, and light to the royals. It's good to have you here, sis. Universal Empress. We got Latasha in the building. How are you? 804 has arrived. Peace and love. Peace and love. Have you in the building. We have Naima Ra. She says greetings to all. We appreciate you. We love y'all for joining us. It is great to have you. We had a great time the last two parts, so I'm hoping that we get it in once more. This
Yeah.
time on the part three, family, we about to get it in. This is the ending. You know, I always put the best information for the very end. So for the last parts of what we have, we are going to have some explosive things to talk about. So I encourage you to please go check out the other parts so you could understand what's going on. As always, you know, you can find me under Tasmaniac Wolf on Facebook and the Taz Show under everything else. Feel free to go check all that out. As always, we have to give a little disclaimer because you know there's a couple of people that take things too out of hand. So we're gonna get the disclaimer out the way real quick. Uh, um, we have the God himself, PNF, Lord of the Crickets in the house. Good to have you here, brother. Thank you for being here. Uh, but disclaimer, real quick: the material and information on this PowerPoint is for general information purposes only. Do not assume the information speaks in absolute. No such thing exists. The concept of Christmas explained here, found in many literatures and historical documents. We will speak of religion, etymology, history, and the connection between all. If any of these subjects, especially religion, creates controversy for you, this might not be the show for you. It is advised that you watch my word magic pay-per-view to comprehend the play on words I use throughout this breakdown. Keep in mind that I am presenting you my understanding, not the absolute truth. You should know by now that all truths are half truth and we're living our own version of the truth. I encourage you to believe nothing I say, but instead do your own research and come up with your own truth and understandings.
And
That's
to add
it.
disclaimer, Taz, they got to be aware of my iconoclast. I came to assault every one of these fake gods that they got up in front of us. So if you God conscious and you feel offended when somebody whoop your Jesus, Muhammad, and Abraham upside the head, this might not be the show.
This ain't the show for you. Amen.
If
I'm
you
right. You
if
don't
you're a Moor and you don't know the difference between a dirty Moor and a righteous Moor, this might not be the show for you.
There it is. Let's put it out there from the beginning. All right.
I gotta let it be known since you're doing disclaimers, we might as well go and get it on out the way. Don't
Yeah,
ask
yeah.
for no mercy from me because I got the same mercy that they gave us when they were stepping on our neck. So no, I will not tone down my colorful epithets. No, I will not apologize for nothing that I'm telling y'all. I'm telling y'all ahead of time. I'm not going to apologize because I'm going to deliberately say everything I'm going to say, and I'm going to mean that shit. And whoever get offended, that's on you, right? I'm not apologizing ahead of time, so I'm gonna offend somebody.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Let them know, Rod. Let them know that we ain't for to play no games, and we gonna shoot the first shot.
Shots
Right?
fired! Shots fired!
Damn right.
Yes, sir.
But now that we got that out the way, and we know that you know you will get a boot in your ass if you get out of pocket, you know, just all you got to do is leave, family. If you don't agree, or you know, or if you come on some cloud chasing, listen, ain't gonna be no cloud chasing because you will be banned. All right. If what you're trying to do is just, you know, I'm gonna try to expose blah blah blah. And listen, get your goof ass. But
They can
moving,
come trying to expose something and get their ass exposed.
yeah. Most definitely, most definitely, most definitely.
But let's get on down to business, Taz. Let's discuss this thing called Christmas and the winter solstice and what do it all mean.
Right. Most definitely. So last time we had stopped this show, we had stopped right when we had gotten the knowledge of the spinal cord, the vertebrates. We learned about the T's and the L's. You know, we learned about the sympathetic trunk system and a bunch of whole other stuff that you know that we found in the Quran and we were looking into. And we broke down a lot of the parts of admiralty. So we introduced commerce into the concept of Christmas. And we're gonna pick right back up right there where we left up on part 3. With that said, the next part will be El Sagrado Corazón, which is the Sacred Heart, because this crucifixion that is taking place is something that happens within you. Just like we talked about the concept of the story of a woman coming from a rib. You know, there's also that crucifixion that we are thought about. You know, oh yeah, Jesus died on the cross for you. Well, you know, the cross is actually within you. You know, and it implies to where your clavicle bones are at and your spinal cord, which represents the rod where the sacred secretion transfers to. But it says, as can also be seen, the rib cage is the beast's neck. For the spine, where the golden horny plasma is made through the spinal ionization process and Catholic crossing of the heart. The ribs also represents the branches of DNA of the Christmas tree, the spine. And when the ribs and spines are flattened, they appear almost exactly like a monarch butterfly. All right. So this, I mentioned it as El Sagrado Corazon because that's how it's known as the most popular. I'm not sure if everybody has heard in regards about it, and it will build from there from this slide. You guys want to add something?
Well, the Sacred Heart, when we're talking about the heart chakra, we're talking about activating mitochondria. Whenever you see Christ, KRST is the root word. So when you see the word Christ, you know that they're talking about mitochondrial activation on a higher level or frequency. Now, if the man haven't been doing his self-work to develop into a certain character type, he becomes hostile when that energy is turned on and he can't control himself. He becomes abusive to others and himself. He can't control that love energy, right? So everybody say they want love, but they don't want to do the work required to be a receptacle in which love is willing to pour into you, right? So if they're talking about the empty cup, all that goes back to this, the sangria or the sacred blood. Right? So all this is talking about the blood of Christ, the Eucharist, right? EU Christ, the European Christ. And EU is the European Union. They're talking about the artificial replica of the Messiah to rise in Europe when the real Messiah rides in the other land. So all of these things are coded metaphysics and what they call conceptual physics, where they write like a word problem in math. That's what these things are. This is what you're looking at.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that, brother. You want to add something, Sister Salima or Sister Yasini, before we go on to the next one?
Yeah, I'm gonna add this. I have my pen and paper, and I'm gonna be trying to list 10 things that the God is saying. So I'm gonna be doing more writing and listening on this show, and let the gods and the goddess take over. Yeah, I'm gonna list 10 things that the master is saying.
Most definitely. I hope y'all brought a pen and paper, you know, because it will be necessary to take notes, you know, or come back and watch the video. So you want to add something, Sister Salima?
Well, yeah, I just want to touch on the fact that he was talking about the math.
Facts.
You know, I'm real big on the languages, and the original math was word.
Facts.
So we've been stuck in the circular on these numbers. That original math is the letters that you see. You see what I'm saying? But we don't understand that because the way they've been teaching us is with their programming. Our math taught to us has always been geared on what they want to see manifested in this realm. And once we go back to the original word problems, well, not problems, it'll be the building. It'll be like word building, but it'll be different type of math. It won't just be numbers the way they've taught it to us, or letters as an abstract opponent of an equation. Your letters would often be your leader part of that equation.
And to add to what she's talking about, when you look at modern math, there's only two alphabets hardwired in the math, and that's an algebra. That's the X and the Y. Now, where else do we find prominent expressions of X and Y?
In the chromosome.
In the chromosomes, right? So the Y is the unknown variable, but X marks the spot.
Woo! Facts.
Damn
Because
right.
the X is in the chronosphere. It's in that chrono in the clock. When the Roman letters, that X is the first one.
Yes.
So
when you look at that original clock that they had, that's still running our time backwards to us, telling us how old we are, that X is up there. That people don't recognize
really,
what they see it.
The really we aging in reverse is Benjamin Button, but we think that we supposed to grow from youth to old. But we really, it's physically, yes, but spiritually, no. We grow from the wise child. If we don't properly control our growth, we digress into the aged, old, feeble-minded individual, the baby. Right? So they use the Benjamin Button to give you an extreme exaggeration of how it worked in hopes that you can put together the simplified formula of the equation. Right? So you build a man from the boy, right? But when the man falls, he becomes the feeble-minded, elderly, broke-down vessel, the aged baby. What's it called? Progeria is the disorder.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Progeria. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead. I'm just gonna.
Yeah, that's the disorder that make the babies look like they elderly.
Oh.
Which is actually an extraterrestrial trait inherited from great aliens with faulty genetics that broke down over time.
Wow.
Progeria, also known as Hutchinson-Gilford syndrome, is an extremely rare progressive genetic disorder that causes children to age rapidly, starting in their first 2 years of life. Holy shit. Children with progeria generally appear normal at birth. Bro, you
Hit
just
images.
I remember a movie like that. Robin Williams played a baby or something like that. He was aging real fast.
Mm-hmm.
They die about 12. They'd be lucky to make 12, 13 or something like that.
I think the oldest one ever lived was 20.
Wow. Okay, I didn't even know that.
Okay. So yeah. That's what's up.
Okay, so now Mother Nature gave you a parallel, a comparative analysis mechanism. This is why we always comparing her butt to her butt. Her knockers to her knockers, right? Because we need something to compare something to in order to recognize difference. So the enemy came in using the religious dogma as the seeds of dissension to create, divide, and conquer, which gives us these doctrines that we going over now. It was a military strategy hidden under the pretense of a spiritual solution.
Yeah.
Oh, the story gets deeper.
The story definitely gets deeper. So we could stay on that one with all four of us, we could stay in this one slide and just yap it up for a whole long time. So just for the sake of continuance, we'll keep it moving. But it's getting deep already the way it is. So yeah, let's move forward because these gems are gonna be dropped today. All right, you gonna learn a day, because people are always wondering, like, damn, what are we going to do today?
You
Well,
gonna learn today.
that's what we gonna do.
That's Black Girl Magic talking. I don't know who that was. So every time I get ready to do a class that's gonna be unloading a massive amount of information, Black Girl Magic come through and she tell me, y'all gonna learn us. We gonna learn y'all something today.
Did he say a massive amount of information?
Yeah.
I'll have to go get some more paper.
So anytime I'm so imagine I'm like a puppet, right?
Yeah.
And the puppet master for the day is the one who's telling me how to teach the class. So today we sponsored by Black Girl Magic.
Yes. Yes.
Right. So Black Girl Magic, she tired of playing the games. So she say she gonna learn these motherfuckers something one way or another. And I say, okay, what do you want me to teach them? And then she give y'all the knocks. When y'all knock, she say, let them have it.
Yeah.
That's
See,
why
do you want to tell us about the classroom right quick?
Yep. And I'm gonna earn my knocks.
Go ahead.
So in the brain or cranium, there's a cerebrum or a horn. And within the cerebrum, we find that the claustrum or Santa/Satan claws, it sits in the middle of your temple or most high organ within the carnal body. So from this claustrum, there's a secretion or brain fluid produced every 28 days and most potent during the celestial events of every 23rd of December to the 25th, and the day your solar and lunar signs align or your birth. So this fluid or secretion is an oil, which is old times, which in old times, such as the Greeks, was called the Christos, or now known as the Christ. So this secretion marks its travels from the claustrum down the spine as it learns and collects all information on its descent or fall to its lowest form.
Facts. Who wants a shot at this first off the top before I get in it?
So if you notice that this word claustrum is similar to the first suckle of the baby from the mother's teat called the colostrum.
The colostrum, yes. Teach, holy shit, yes. Okay.
Right now, the reason why a lot of us is having problems with the children because the pair binding is broken at the colostrum feeding to the newborn baby. The cycle is supposed to be the baby is born, you clear the mouth, you put them on the teeth, drink the colostrum. The colostrum, when it goes through the baby's system, sends a hormone through the baby's body, which also is infusing it with genetic memory, biological self-defense that we call antibiotics. It's giving them an immune system. And it's also telling them the program of the mother so that he can understand his own program. All this is the first information fed to the child externally after birth from the mother. Now, once the chemicals in the baby's body is hormonally released, they feed the information back through the umbilical cord, and this colostrum represents the spinal cord, right? Because this colostrum travels up the spinal cord to the brain. right? So in the uterus being a portal, it's sending a signal from the child into the walls of the mother's vagina through the placenta, right? And once this happens, then it sends the mother's brain, just like this colostrum right here is sending this secretion to the brain. This sends the same response to the mother's brain to facilitate actual parental pair bonding with mother and child that's been deprived through clipping the umbilical cord and slapping them on the ass.
Facts, 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 bro. You blew my mind with that colostrum, because that is the most important part of the milk itself. You know, that's what activates the building process of the baby's brain. You know, when they start doing all the new learning and all that stuff. That was deep. That was definitely deep. Sister Salima, you want to add something, sis?
No.
No? All right, Sister Yasini.
I'm good.
All right, all right. So yeah, from just to add value to what the brother just added, you know, this essence that it travels, you know, it states that is falling, you know, it's pretty much the story of Lucifer, just as the crystals is the story of the Christ. It's also the story of Lucifer and my apologies, of
What,
Samael and his fall into earth, and as when he becomes Lucifer, is that travel down your spine as it goes down and falls all the way to its lowest point, where it
you mentioned Samael.
right.
That's it's an anagram, and it's a word problem. It's a secret in the open. The fall of Samael is the Sa priestesses that they call Gorgons in Greece. The Ma on Samael represents the sacred mother who they replaced with a man in drag. L is the definite article, but it also tells you the culprit, the dirty Moor.
Wow. I've heard of different breakdowns of the name Samael, but that one just did a thing for me. It was because I didn't know the sa
It,
part. I knew about the ma and the l, but I couldn't connect the sa to anything. Just yeah, that
okay, if you type in the letters essay under images on Google, it's going to give you a symbol of the Sa priestesses. These were the doulas.
okay, okay,
And this going to almost look like a bread tie rolled up without the bread loaf on it. And the Sa priestesses, they rank from 1 to 10. Medusa means 10th Sa priestess.
okay.
That's not it. Put Egyptian behind it. There you go. The first one. You see how it look like a rope that's knotted?
Oh, okay.
Okay, that's the symbol of the Sa priestesses.
Mm,
These were the doulas.
okay.
They were what they call them birth maidens in the literature. But the doula job is so underrated because she was one of the most coveted priestess to have in your community. Because she could come into a woman's life, listen to her life story, and tell her how to put her whole life on the path to her best life.
Mm,
You see it there in association with the Ankh, right?
Right. Yeah, I was noticing that.
Right. Now, there's a male priesthood called the Ba priesthood. If you put in Ba where you got Sa, it's gonna give you a different symbol. It's gonna be a circle on the stick. The bird, you see, he gonna be carrying it in his hand. You see the double bird right there, what he got in his hand?
Yeah, I see what he got in his hands. Hold on, let me get a better one. I gotta find a better one. Hold on. Man, the pictures are too small. But go, keep going, brother. I'm gonna look for a better picture.
Okay, so the Ba priestess, the highest rank you can be is a Baba. Baba mean great father, right?
Hey,
And the highest rank is the Maha Avatar Babaji, meaning the greatest of the great fathers, right? Then that's the teaching of the Kriya Yoga, which is raising the flame up. You see that symbol right there is called the Ba.
Mm.
okay, okay. You teaching your ass off.
Is it is
So
it um is it polarized to the Ma, or it's got some
it's
other?
a different priesthood.
Okay.
It's just a different priesthood. The Psi priestesses are the women who became known as nuns in the Catholic Church.
Okay.
They were the Psi priestesses, and their that was their symbol. And the counter symbol to them was the staff of Tahuti, the winged serpent, or the caduceus.
Right.
The modern medicine stole the symbols because they stole all our symbols because we can read the symbols subconsciously, which will draw us to the places of their destruction.
Hmm. Damn.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, that's yeah, you went there. You went there with, that's my son's name, Samael.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Taz, did we read the other part of the display in white? And is different from what I read, correct?
Oh yeah. You talking about the picture?
Yeah, because I see some things that I might wanna continue on.
Yeah, go ahead, sis. Go ahead. We could get on with, because on the right side we have a little it's like a meme that gives an explanation of whoever was this meme, whoever did the meme of how the rising and the falling of the secretion and what it represents. And I go deep into this breakdown in my science of the sacred secretion. So I encourage you to go check that out. But go ahead, sis. Do your thing.
Yeah, so I see the raising of the chrism, or Santa Claus, Joseph, Mary, and the crucifixion. So
Right.
number one, the pineal gland representing Joseph secretes the milk. The pituitary is Mary, and she secretes the honey.
Right.
So both from the same source, the colostrum or Santa Claus. Okay, so we seeing that they don't just be making up shit; they just be stealing shit.
That's a physics description of a stellar event.
Mm,
So you just gave the reference to Jesus, Joseph, and Mary, right?
yes,
Joseph is the assumed father
right,
of a stepchild,
Facts.
yes.
right? And Mary is the mother of the child.
Mm-hmm.
And in Revelation, they call this child the son of the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So it's telling you about the winter solstice and the first day of the solar return after the solstice. The sun, as the mother looks over her, as Mary looks over her earth belly, she sees between her legs the rising of the sun. As the doctor raises the baby up for the mother to see him for the first time after he's been birthed. It's a physics formula, but it's described as or disguised as a fairy tale.
Mm.
So
Okay.
it's teaching you astrogeometry. So now you're starting to learn to read the earth with the stars using the formula, but they spooked you out and told you it meant something else.
Facts. 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 But
Mm.
go ahead, sis. You could finish up the thing. You be
Yeah,
aware that the numbers are not in chronological order. If you could see
right.
it.
I'm gonna go in the chronological order though.
Oh, okay, cool,
So I'm
cool,
gonna take two next.
cool. Okay.
So the two sacred oils travel down into the solar plexus via the semilunar ganglion, pneumogastric nerve.
Facts.
Okay. Number
Okay.
three.
Can we
Okay,
talk about number 2 for a minute?
Go ahead.
please.
Go ahead. Go
Okay,
ahead.
so you notice it said the two fluids,
Yes.
right? It's talking about what's called the gold liquid and the silver liquid.
Facts. Facts. Facts.
The silver liquid is
The methane.
basic cerebral spinal fluid.
Yeah.
Mm.
The gold elixir is called the KRST, KRST,
Okay.
Mm.
You hold on.
right? Now, the brain automatically pump the silver liquid, which is the semilunar ganglia. The silver liquid is governed by the system of the moon.
Mm-hmm.
The solar elixir, the gold elixir, is governed by the sun,
Mm-hmm.
right? So now you raising the sun over the moon, which is a sun that's rising up to rule, as the daughter wasn't fit.
Mm.
It's a physics formula for a certain time of the year.
Wow.
This is when Libra is placed between Virgo and Scorpio to separate the zodiac signs, because the enmity was put between the sun and his seed and her seed, the Scorpio and the Virgin or the Virgo. Virgo being represented by Venus, and Venus is the bright morning star, not the other star, which is Mercury, that comes on the heels of Venus. So the sun follows the mother over the horizon. This is Horus rising,
Mm.
right? So this is talking about the physics formula for the solar rays and the lunar rays' effect on your awakening, being told in the story of the elixir, because the physiological function, as within, so without, as above, so below.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. So, Rod, that led me to a question.
Mm-hmm.
I hope I'm not too off, but when we're talking about the moon, wasn't there a time when it wasn't here?
Yeah.
Because I keep seeing it tied into the female or our body or our stories or our information.
The
How
story,
is it?
the story of them placing the moon there is when it say in Genesis that the woman will traverse in labor, right?
Mhm.
That's because they put something there to control her cycle, to take the control away from her by artificial means.
Damn.
This is the death of Lilith, because the moon of Saturn is Lilith. And that's the energy that the women were synced at, where they was controlling when they gave birth and when they used their cycle and when they didn't come on the cycle.
And
So
did
they put the battleship up there called the moon, and they synced it to the Dark Knight satellite for the holographic projection and to change the women. It took the women thousands of years to learn how to use the moon magic, what we call the silver key or oracle magic. But when they figured it out, Big Mama said, okay, let's go.
right what you just said, and we now I had no freaking idea about what the gem that the brother just dropped right now. But if you look at what was previously mentioned in the other two parts in regards about the gift, the gametry intrafallopian tube transfer, which is what women do to allow another woman to give birth, it coincides with the moon being built up there. Like I've heard of the moon wasn't up there before, but not a breakdown like that. That was I'm gonna have to agree with Nathaniel and just say talk your shit. Fuck it.
I
And
want to add to that.
Go ahead, sis. Break it down for us.
Okay, now you know we got these cycles for every 28 days, right?
Facts.
Okay, so you got the women on the cycle for 28 days for their menstruals, right?
yes,
If you're a meat, cheese, and sugar eater, you on a cycle to have a cold every 28 days, right?
mhm,
About that time, your kids about give up the mucus because that's their natural immunity system. They have to fight back. So they need that whole month to fight back. And then they're going to go through that 2-week drainage period like a woman would on her menstruals, right?
yes.
So this is the time when your immunity is kicking in for you to do other shit, but we can't see it because we still on those cycles. Remember the last show you had, Taj, and you was like the sun and the moon, and I said I don't equate that as opposites. I felt that they were mechanisms put there for a reason.
Right.
Right, facts. And then the guy Rod just hit it right back on the nose, exactly what I said before. Those are mechanisms put in place to control. We're out of with this right now, but what we're saying, we are falling out of their time. We're falling out of their frequency because their time is a fallacy. So we only got a few more times when we're gonna keep going through these cycles of 28 because that other stuff about to fall out of play. You see what I'm saying? So in a minute, everybody about to do the big cleanse, the big cycle. Ain't gonna be no 28 days like that. You gonna be cleansing straight facts. And and some people might not understand what feeling they're going through. It might feel like anxiety, high anxiety a little bit. Because your mind is cleansing too. You ain't just cleansing the mucus and that, you cleansing everything. It's a whole time of cleanse. But we got to get off that moon cycle because that leads us back to their cycle. When you do the big cleanse, ain't no more. You off that timeline. That's done.
Yeah. So the women use the lunar cycles to ride the menstrual wave on a biorhythmic chart. When they sync together, they can control the cycle again, meaning that if they're not ready to bear a child, they don't see a reason to go through a menstrual cycle. So they turn it off. But when they realize, okay, I think I'm ready to have a baby, then she'll go through 3 menstrual cycles. The first 2 will be purging her system of impurities. But she won't ovulate in the first 2 cycles. She won't ovulate until the 3rd cycle because she already used the first 2 cycles to purge and clean the system.
That's
I had to take my hat off to you guys on that one.
yeah. I mean, it's so in depth, It's like Sis said, we're bearing on the
We are-
third time, and we going in it like for real, for real. So
This is also a
This
legal notice too.
yes, this is how it should be done. We shouldn't be skipping over parts. If there's some clarification that we can get out of anything, we should stop and listen to that. Today was the right day for Rod Hayes to be in the house because we always go deep, but now it's getting deeper. So I'm gonna read part 3 unless somebody else got something to say.
no, go ahead, Sis. Do your thing.
Okay, so 3 says the psychophysical germ or the fruit of the tree of life is born in the solar plexus or the manger. The psychophysical germ is born in the manger.
So this is the development of the fleshy portion of the cell. So when they talking about here, this is where your other brain is. This is your stomach. This is why fasting is required. Because once you can control this energy center that they pointing at right there, called your gut, then you can control your emotional body. Your emotional body, you need to be able to read your emotions instead of be overwhelmed by your emotions. It's your navigation system.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what they're talking about with that energy center in the development of it. It's still another formula. So we've seen 3 different formulas in 3 different parts of the descriptive analysis of this system of the colostrum. Right now, we got other descriptions to come, and we don't even know what we finna run into.
Right.
But it must be good.
It's always good. Always. So number 4 says the Ida or red, Pingala or blue. Those are 2 nerve fluids where at the crossing of the medulla oblongata, the crucifixion takes place where it rests for 2.5 days.
You see, it said the Ida,
Yes.
and Ida means red,
Yes.
and Pregea means blue. When you look on the male, this is the separating of the male sperm from the female sperm produced in the testes. And it's also in the female, it is the regulator of the hormones through the endocrine system to balance out the seed that it is receiving when the woman is receptive to give birth. So these 2 things, either you're going to get a sperm from the father line or you're going to get a sperm from the mother line off the father line. And then the mother is going to say, okay, I'm going to accept this and bear this seed, or no, I'm not going to bear this seed, spontaneous abortion.
Damn.
Some of the women know, based on the frequency of the fetus developing in their womb, that they're going to be straight wicked. And she don't want to bring that wicked child into reality, so she spontaneously aborted.
Wow. And then others don't know how to do that.
Right. You're exactly right. But they were learning. That's what the Salem witch trials was about. Right? Because they came to learn how to control that, what we was just talking about, and to get their drop of blood.
I mean, you think Jeffrey Dahmer's mother knew how to do that?
He wasn't genetically determined. He was socially developed after the fact. But he had the propensity because they the descendants of the Donner Party who ate for survival and after plane crash.
Damn.
I seen that movie.
Mm-hmm. So that's where his name comes from. It's called a name variant.
Dahmer or Jeffrey?
Donner and Dahmer.
Damn. Wow.
Right. So he had it in him, but it was certain things in his social development as a child that never took place. For instance, his mother was never allowed to run the colostrum through his system in order to purge him of the impurities of his ancestral family curses that comes through his genetic anomalies.
So, Rod, clearly, we don't know thyself.
Yeah.
Clearly, we don't.
Mm-hmm.
Not even close to it.
How the hell fuck can we learn all of this?
That's what that movie was about. Us. That's a whole colony genetically passed on criminality.
Yeah.
Look at how those people were. It's a whole colony of passed on criminality, of clones.
Wow.
But they don't necessarily have to be a literal clone.
They don't have to be cloned. You could be what you're saying, the guy is true. These are people. Just in that movie, they just happen to be clones. But in reality, that criminality gets passed on genetically.
So that ancestor is strong, that got away with a lot of dirt.
I'm like
And
Joe Beller.
if you have the character trait capable of embodying that strength, that crooked ancestor gonna try to get you to do their dirt.
Mm-hmm.
So you be facilitating that generational curse because you can't stand up to them and be like, man, I'm not finna go rob that old lady. What the fuck I look like robbing an old lady and taking her purse for a goddamn social security check? I want to know how to rob the Federal Reserve System for motherfuckers that's robbing our people. That's who I want to know how to rob. Now, all your ancestors that's about that drama on the right gonna make the bad ancestor bump straight in the spirit realm, and they gonna all be grateful that you didn't facilitate the perpetuation of that generational curse.
Those are facts. Those are facts, brother.
Can I get a semi answer to what me and Joe Beller is saying? Like, how the hell do we learn all of this about ourselves? Do we got to go to school?
Nope. You gotta study yourself.
But how?
You saw what happened.
Listen,
You
I'm
got to
looking
take
at
it slow.
these five things that's here. How is somebody gonna know this?
Okay, so your knowledge base, right, is gonna facilitate your style of learning.
Okay.
All right. Now, most of this stuff you already know it, but you are not aware that you know it because it's not organized.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You walk past the lecture and in the library, and you was just out of earshot, and you heard every word they said.
Mm.
Right? But you was pre-absorbed with the studies you was doing in college. You had time to go in and sit in on the lecture, to be in the moment at the lecture, but your subconscious mind was at the lecture while you was studying for another exam.
Mm. Okay, so my subconscious owned it already.
Mm-hmm.
So all I gotta do
Now,
is get it.
these descriptions we given is targeting key neurological links in the knowledge base you already have. You can only rise to your own level. But the goal is to rise to your level where most people quit and fall on their face.
Shit. Let me wake up one day and be smart as hell.
But you already are. You have the knowledge of the universe encoded in your genetic makeup. That's what we're going over. Now, all you have to do is remember who the fuck you is and own that shit and be who you are, the mother of civilization, owner, maker, queen of the motherfucking planet Earth, goddess of the universe, and go about your business. And when you need the information, you don't have to know it. Big Mama gonna send you to get the answer.
Okay. All right. I like to think I was a shot in the last life or two. But
yeah, you still have all of your knowledge from past lives. It just ain't been activated because you haven't learned certain key activation information.
Well,
but you still, when you moving on in your rightful path, when you need a piece of information, Big Mama gonna send somebody to know exactly that what you need, and they might not know shit else.
Okay, so
it'll be just enough to give you the understanding you need at that time. Goes back to when the student is ready, the teacher appears.
That's right. That's right. You ain't lying. So I got number 5 to go, and then we can move past the slide finally. So number 5 says the sacred oil returns after the crossing or the crucifixion. It enters the cerebellum or Golgotha, the place of the skull. The fluid or Christ is refined 1,000-fold.
Facts. 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 Facts.
So the 1,000-fold, where it say Christ refined, is the information capacity when you change the silver liquid for the gold liquid. Right? So what's happening at the medulla is there's a portion of the brain called the pons region. And in the pons region, there's a nerve ganglia called the reticular formation. It's here that your consciousness enters the body. It's also known as the black dot because it's heavily concentrated with melanin. And it's also referred to as the black mirror. Well, you can't see through the black mirror unless you have the gold elixir, the black and the gold, Big Mama colors. Right. The gold elixir rushes over the nerve ganglia and it flips on the pineal gland, which is a light bulb on the inner side of the brain in the upper right hemisphere, where it absorbs the information coming in from Big Mama on something called an anterior gyrus. It's right here on your head. So that's called the opening of the crown chakra. Right? So it's giving you now, it went from giving you astro geology to giving you biology to giving you metaphysics, and now it's giving you the return of it all, what they call a resurrection. When the sacred elixir fills the 4 chambers of the brain left and right hemisphere have to be in sync because of the density of the gold liquid. It's called the sacred secretion.
Exactly.
And so Santa Claus is real. It's just not, actually, their little physical version is not too bad. What we're trying to point out here is like this Christmas have nothing to do with the occasion that it is today out in the real world. However, the story of it is real. And,
yeah, because the story of Christmas is the story of the winter solstice.
Yes.
Fact.
It
Right.
happens every year.
Now, what they did was, we mentioned earlier, commerce ties. So the same word, colostrum, is claws to rum. Right? The rum was what they was trading with the islanders. The clause is the L clause, which is the 7 clause on the flip. So the cause of the contract on the cross, the T square, is the condition created by the rum called drunkenness. They call this the intoxication of saints, or the madness of magicians. Right?
Hence the 12 days of the body drinking and
that's what I was gonna say.
Wine. It's just the brothers going. Yeah, he just Go ahead.
So the black and gold colors, those vice lord colors. So if you have a vice that you haven't mastered, you can't raise your sacred secretion. Once you can master your vices and you can overcome your 7 deadly sins, right? Then that's when you could raise your sacred secretion, black and gold, into Big Mama house, the upper queen's chamber, the queen mother seat. And the queen mother is the mother to the king. It's all about the awakening, but it's put in descriptive fairy tale terms. So we come to take them from the law, which is a fraud, into grace. Grace is gratitude on a universal level, but
Mm.
it's also a noble character, right? So the noble character comes from mastering your noble self, becoming what you aspire to be at your highest peak, Phoenix rising.
Okay, so are you saying that we don't necessarily have to go to the books for this information? We can go
No,
within?
everything in them books is already in you.
True that.
The books is the training wheels to bend your mind so it can't go back to where it was before you read the book. So now you got to fill it up with something to connect it to the truth that you already know.
Mm-hmm.
They call that the purification of the ego, and it requires certain disciplines.
Facts,
Wow.
facts. I want to encourage the family to please share the live. We appreciate you all for being here. We just hit the hour mark. Just so you know, brother, that we still got a lot to go. You know, I got nothing but time. But at any time, you know, if you do, I'm not sure how much of your time is available. But you know, but we will be going probably for about maybe 2.5 hours. The show usually goes about 2-3 hours. So at any given time, if you need a break,
Don't
or
be lying to us.
And
please,
do you have a Cash App?
Who?
Right. Yeah,
Yeah,
you got a Cash App, Rod?
yeah,
Hold
put it
on.
on
yeah.
there.
I'm gonna
But I
type
can
it in
buy
the
some more
comments so
time.
you can. I'm gonna type it in the comments so you can pin it.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Cool. Yeah.
Can we buy some time? Right?
Can we buy some?
I don't sell nothing and I don't charge for nothing.
Okay.
Let's hear it.
Appreciate
That's
that.
what's up.
But you know, I encourage everybody to please like it. That doesn't cost you anything. Share, invite your friends. You know, because we're definitely going in. The brother is definitely going in with his knowledge. So if you are feeling in the give. It is Christmas. You were gonna buy something for for whatever kid or
Okay.
for yourself or whatever. So in the case that you are feeling generous, the brother, like he says, he does everything for free. But donations are always appreciated. We love y'all. We thank y'all for your time, for everything that you guys do. So if you are interested in helping the brother out, please be sure to hit him up on his Cash App to show him some love. We also have the Cash App for the Empress herself, Salima Ellis. So make sure that if you like what the teacher is giving and providing, please show her some love. We also got Sister Denise Grant. We got her Cash App going as well. So if you like what she's doing, she's breaking it down. She's always ready for all the shows. She's my right hand woman. So I sometimes feel incomplete without her by my side. So it's always a good thing to have her here. And if you do want to, show some love for me, hit me up on Cash App as well. Money sign detached. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. But moving forward, we are going to go into the sacred secretion, and we appreciate everybody coming through. Salute to Taz, the chat, and the panel. Much love. Nature's music in the house. Peace and love. Glad to have you here. Greatly appreciate you. So attend one Maxwell said Rod lit. He be moving around. I've seen him on different channels. Gratitude. It's a good look. Yasini University is definitely family. We appreciate y'all. So make sure that you check us out on all our platforms. Check us out on all our platforms. And actually, I'm gonna give everybody like a 5 minute. It's about a 3 minute break. I'm gonna run this ads real quick about Yasini University. So everybody that is interested in joining us, There is perks if you do join the university. You know, you have access to me. You have access to the empresses. Rod Hayes will be available. You know, if anything comes up, and you have the